It's like assumed that you're gonna have a stable network. And so I think people overlook that sometimes in some degrees because we've made it so consistent and so dependable that they're like, "Oh, yeah, we wanna do all this," but what do you need to do that? And that's one of the things, the network is one of the things that is a must-have because without it, you can't do X, Y, Z that you said just identified that you wanted to do.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up because I think you're absolutely right. And I've encountered this as well, and I'm quite sure a lot of our hospital members. I think it's a blessing and a curse when everything works most of the time. It's a blessing and a curse. They then create this expectation where nothing should ever happen. When I come to work every day, I have to be prepared for the whole building to burn down. It could happen today. This is the truth. The whole thing could burn down, and I'm going to be the one people got to look to for leadership when the technology and all of the things that are built on technology start to have issues. And so I always have to continue to remind our teams that this is not the Steve McWilliams show. This isn't just the IT show. We all have to work together. We all have something to contribute to making sure that we are resilient, that we have business continuity, and those plans are a bigger part of that. And so our network is up like literally 99%. We have some new leadership team members now. They have not experienced any crises yet. And so when something does blip on the radar, that does sometimes get unreasonably magnified just because how rare it is. It turns into a thing in and of itself because people aren't accustomed to how it used to be in the past where we had to reboot servers and all this stuff, all throughout the day if something were impacted. And so we have seen a lot of improvements with technology, whether it's our network, our connectivity, our access to data, collecting of data, keeping that speed sensible, the speed, all of that's important. So I just hope that we don't take this for granted because I think when it's all said and done, the reason this stuff works is because of people in their planning, their implementation, the documentation, the training, and we all participate at some level of that journey for us to really gain the value of that network being there, get the value of that system being there. I do have to remind my team, things will go down. That's not the plan. The plan is for them to stay up. And so let's stick to the plan so that we have a consistent experience of everything remaining secure so we don't think about it. We can focus on our members because the IT team and our plan and our moments of table topics, that's when we get that time to plan and think through for those crises.
It's a blessing and a curse. I love that. And for the stability of and the consistency of the network. I think that's great. People do forget about it. They also forget about it when you're like, hey, we need to reinvest into the network infrastructure. And they're like, hey, what's this going to do for us? Well, it's going to give us the consistency that we're used to because we have more going on than ever, and it's never going to get less. It's going to be more and more going on to the dependability of our network. So you need to continue to reinvest into that foundational support as well. So when you put something in front of decision makers that, say, well, why are we doing this? Well, oh, we're not going to get some amazing, impactful breakthrough from innovation. No, we're going to be able to do more of what we want to do because this is the foundational support that we need to do everything.
And there is some level of assumption that depending on the cost or certain technologies that people experience at a trade show, that an organization is ready to adopt and consume a new innovative technology. I had someone say, and I'm not going to take claim for this because another hospital said this, but go back to some of the rural hospitals. There are some hospitals that are so far behind, they're still deploying yesterday's technology tomorrow. And so I thought about that for a second. You're deploying technology from the past in the future and even right now, just to try to deal with your technical debt, trying to be able to create the opportunity for you to participate in some of this new technology around AI, all these different buzzwords that we're hearing. They're not even ready for that yet. And so that's another important point. So I would say that in spite of all this new innovation and in spite of all this new technology, there are some organizations that are not quite ready for it. And I think being able to articulate that as a leader to our team, saying, hey, I know that's shiny and nice and everyone's talking about it. Let's start with our foundation and some of the things that we're still working on and get that right first. I mean, like you talk about with data, AI, if you have garbage data, your AI systems and your large language models that you build out are going to be some problems. So there's a priority, there is a order to things as you go through your maturity model. and talking with your team and explaining that and going through your steps in the right order is very important, because there probably are people listening to this podcast who are still deploying technology from the past. And what I mean by that is some things that we're not talking about anymore. They're still deploying some of those things because they're still trying to catch up. And so
and they don't have the capabilities of some of these other things. And to your point, like everything, the foundation is the building block. So if you don't have the strong and the right foundation to do what you want to do, you put on this uber nice roof onto your house, but you have an unstable foundation sinking. It collapses, right? So, I mean, it's just like that with everything else. So that's huge, Stephen. I appreciate that.